Hello my friends, my name is Max, today is Friday, and that means that we're about to open yet another issue of the Imperium Magazine. This time it is issue number 28. Let's see what's inside of this one. Inside we find the magazine itself, a sprue for the Necron Warriors, which we're gonna take a closer look in a moment, 6 bases, 4 for the Necron Warriors and 2 for Canoptic Scarab Swarms, and that is pretty much it. Let's start with the magazine. Inside of the magazine we find more lore on the Necron Warriors. In life, Necron Warriors were the common citizens of the Necron tier race. The act of biotransference has transformed them into near-mindless killing machines, utterly enslaved to the wheels of their uncaring noble masters. We learn about them becoming automatons pretty much, the biotransference, and we of course can give some customizations for our Necron Warriors. Phalanx glyph can be placed here. We can name our phalanx, we can name cohort and phalanx here. Battle damage is determined by throwing d6 dice. Gifts of Eon, reinforced necrodermis, weapon stabilizers, threat detection matrix, and so on and so forth. We have some glorious tasks, records of battle, so all sorts of customization for this particular squad of Necron Warriors. Next, we seemingly get more lore on the Necrons' relentless march. Upon countless worlds across the galaxy, Necron armies are on the attack. Imperious Necron nobles send forth their legions to reconquer their former territories by whatever means necessary. I did some research on the number of awakened Necron worlds, and it seems like that it is less than 100th or even 1000% of the all tomb worlds that are awakening. No exact number from Games Workshop, of course, but seems like it is in the ballpark of hundreds of worlds. We get some lore on the mysterious Blackstone, a shadow upon the stars, tomb ships, dolmen gates, lore of all this kind of stuff here. And next we learn more about Skitarii Legions. Skitarii are soldiers of the machine god and form the armies that answer to the tech priests of the cult Mechanicus. They glory in their augmented forms, granted the knowledge by their masters that each calculated kill and ever victory is achieved under the unblinking gaze of their deity. Alright. These are the Skitarii Warriors. Some more stuff on these spells. Artisanal apparatuses. Arc Rifle, Galvanic Rifle, and Transuranic Arquebus. So we get to know what is what. Next we have a section on how to build Necron Warriors. I'm pretty sure that we have seen this one before, but since this is a second squad of Necron Warriors, we have it yet again. They tell us that we need to wait until issue 29 to get the second sprue. The 40mm bases are being used for the Scarab Swarms, and the Necron Warriors are using 32mm base as mentioned here. Elaborate instructions how to build the Necrons with Gauss Flares or Gauss Reapers. We actually get some Gauss Reaper alternative here. Very interesting. And the finished models look like this, and as we can see, half of them are built with Gauss Flares and another half with Gauss Reapers. Interesting. We get more core rules of the game: unit coherency, engagement range, battlefield. So the way it works, you are supposed to collect these pages from a number of magazines, and combined together they provide the rule set for the game. This is pretty much what you find in a codex or a rule book, a very outdated one though. Measuring distances, terrain features, terrain categories, hills, obstacles, area terrain, buildings, beautiful art, terrain traits. So we learn all about terrain in this section. It's actually quite interesting. I don't think a lot of stuff has changed terrain-wise. And we get to see Imperium terrain. The following terrain categories and terrain traits apply to the terrain included with your Warhammer 40k Imperium collection. This is the terrain that we get in the Imperium magazine. Very, very interesting. Yeah, more stuff. We have seen this stuff, Hyamotrope Reactor. And I think we're supposed to get more pipes and plasma conduits and whatnot. And we have already seen, of course, the barrels and the crates. We get yet another scout mission, seemingly, Counter-Strike. The Necrons continue their relentless advance over the Imperial positions, breaching defensive lines and overrunning fortifications. Imperial forces have been ordered to launch a counterattack and regain lost ground. The Ultramarines, under the command of a Primaris Lieutenant, have been tasked with wresting a supply cache from the Necron's grasp. In their path stands a Necron Overlord and his accompanying warriors, determined to destroy the human vermin. We get some really nice looking supply cache. Necrons and Space Marines are combating in this scenario. For the Necrons, we're gonna have 10 Necron Warriors, another squad of 10 Necron Warriors, and 1 Overlord. I'm not entirely sure that we have 20 Necron Warriors by now, but with the next issue we definitely will. And for Ultramarines, 5 Assault Intercessors, 3 Aggressors, and 1 Primaris Lieutenant. And this is how the battlefield is set. We get some ads, and of course, they advertise what is gonna be in the next issue and the issue number 30. The next issue is pretty much the second half of the Necron Warriors, and issue 30 is all about bases. Mephiston Red is gonna be introduced in that one. And that is our magazine. Let's take a look at the Necron Warrior sprue. We can see at least 2 Scarab Swarms on this half. It's actually quite tilted. Check this out. It's a bit warped. And we get how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 Necron Warriors torso in this one. More weapons, but those are gonna be used for the torsos from the second half of this sprue. The Necrons are, as always, very flimsy. It's a lot of heads here. Very, very interesting. And I'm pretty sure I can use the leftovers from this sprue in order to build something fun for the Deathwatch bases. Other than that, this is a fairly standard Necron Warrior sprue. Very widespread. I think this is exactly the same as was in the Indomitus launch box. And I think, my friends, this is gonna be it for today. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of this issue of the Imperium magazine. Did you find lore from this magazine interesting? Did you get any Necron Warriors from Imperium magazine? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribe to the channel. This way you will get more content like this in the future, and I will get to open more magazines, build minis, and kit bash minis. As always, check out the video that you see now on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.